And that does not mean going to the range and just shooting at a target. Okay? If you really are interested in having to use a gun against another human being who's trying to do you harm, you need to up the ante in your training. It's usually available through a lot of the gun stores, etc., etc. I would not advocate a man to train his wife how to use a gun. I advocate the woman how to learn to train the gun. But where I'm going with this is, I don't want Uncle Harry or my brother or somebody like that training me how to use a gun. I want to go to a professional who does that for a living. Because although my brother or my uncle or my dad or whoever can teach me things, they are not actively teaching probably the things that I need to learn, which is how to use that gun under high-stress environments. Okay? Hand-to-hand combat. These are part of those things that I was talking about. What are the tools of the counter-terrorists? Okay? They do a lot of hand-to-hand combat. Okay? And a lot of it is taking somebody to the ground, cuffing them, beating the hell out of them, whatever it takes, killing them if they have to. That's an aspect. There is nothing more confidence building, and again, this is going to sound a little weird, there is nothing that gives you more confidence as a human being, an individual, than knowing that you can beat the shit out of another person. Confidence goes a long way, because I will say this. Who are the toughest who are the toughest guys who ever walked the face of this planet? Anybody got a guess? The toughest guys who ever walked the face of the planet. Tell me. That's goddamn right. U.S. Marine, 120 pounds, dripping wet, just out of boot camp. He is the toughest son of a bitch that ever took a step on this planet. How can that possibly be? Because he knows he is. He doesn't think he is. He knows he is. Okay? That confidence is the same confidence that allows those Marines to storm a beach when they've got a 95% casualty rate and they just keep coming. That goes a long, long ways. Okay? Decision making. What's the difference between you as a person, a regular police officer, let's say, or an individual who goes to the range and shoots his pistol and all that? What's the difference between you and a top-tier operator, a CAG operator, or a dev group? And they all have different names now, but I'm still using their old names. What's the difference between you and those, or FBI, HRT guys? What's the difference between you and them? The real difference. Okay? Experience, that's one. But the true decision, the true difference is speed and decision making. That's what separates the big guys from the rest of us. Okay? They make decisions very, very quickly. When a Navy SEAL unit goes into a room to clear a house, my house is somewhere about 3,500 square feet or so. Entire house cleared in under 2 minutes. Boom, like that. And I mean clear. No like, oh, we forgot to look here or there. That's every single part of that room. That's how fast these guys are. Okay? When they come knocking on your door, shit is going to hit the fan. My God, I can't think of anything better than to know that Osama bin Laden's last view of life on this earth was those Navy SEALs busting into that room and looking right down the barrel of an M4 and they fucking blew his fucking Don't say you real quick. Some of the training that you can do, if you can't get this advanced training, is, again, creative visualization. Very, very important. Think about what you would do. Actually run it like a movie in your mind. Because, again, in other lectures I've talked about the value of creative visualization. The brain doesn't know if something's real or not. And I'll just say this. When you're dreaming, your brain thinks it's real. In fact, when you dream, you are paralyzed. Okay? Because if you weren't paralyzed, you'd be thrashing about and running and jumping and all that stuff that's going on in your dream. So it's so real what's going on in your mind that the body doesn't know what's real or not. So again, if you can be very, very specific about your creative visualization, you can create, what will I do if a guy comes through that door? And I can literally sit and think, okay, this is exactly what I would do, and I play it. Okay? The thing about it, and I'm going to, just for a split second, when you practice, let's say that I'm going to practice shooting free throws. without being at the basketball court. And I'm in my mind practicing shooting those free throws. What is every single free throw that I make? It's a switch. It's a perfect free throw. Okay? And this works with shooting skills and everything else. When you visualize it, every single shot is a dead center shot. Well, what you're doing is you are reinforcing perfection, perfect practice. Okay? If I'm at the court and I'm shooting free throws and I'm off and all that, I'm actually sometimes reinforcing imperfect skills. Okay? Now, I won't go into all that right now. But scenario training, again, if there's any place where you can do airsoft training, simunitions, even paint gun stuff, it's all good. The adrenaline comes up, you start to force yourself to make those decisions. I'm not going to go into all the specifics. There's a lot of good DVDs, there's a lot of shooting schools out there. They're not cheap, there's some expense involved, but by God, it is as close as you can get. If you think about it and you think, is that worthwhile? And again, I give a whole lecture on all of that good stuff too. Think about Navy Top Gun training, okay? They put you in a combat environment, force you to have your first missions in training so that when you go into actual combat, you have combat experience, experiential processes already built into the situation so that the first time you're staring down a MiG, it's not the first time, okay? Because one of our mantras that I use all the time is you never, ever want to run into something for the first time in combat. Now, can you cover every single thing? No. It's endless. But if you can cover the main things that you think you're going to run into in your training, then you're getting ready for the real deal. Okay? Have a plan. I'm telling you right now, I'm in a restaurant. I have a plan. What am I going to do? Where's my escape routes? I'm in the movies. I don't sit way in behind 25 people. And this has something to do with just, what if there's a fire? What if there's an earthquake? I live in California, for God's sake. I want to be in a position where I don't have to climb over 35 people to get my son and my wife and my family out the door. I want to be a straight shot out. Okay? So when I say have a plan, figure it out. When I'm with my family in countries that might not be quite as safe as the United States, I have a plan. One of the plans is, let's say we're on the beach, and I told my wife, I said, hon, you got to understand, 5 guys come up, I stay, you run to the car with the kids. And of course, my wife, she's got a backbone that most men would like to have. I'm not leaving you, and really, it's like, hon, you have to understand, I can occupy these 5 guys while you guys get to safety. Okay? If they're going to do you harm, to hell with me. Okay? Have a plan. I can't beat 5 guys up. I can run around like a chicken with my head cut off. Okay? But have those kind of things in place because you don't want to be going, oh shit, boom, 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 and then boom, they grab you. Now you're screwed. Okay? Physicality. You should work out, my God, for all the right reasons. You want to be a grandpa who's in good shape so that you're 85 or 90 years old and you're watching your granddaughter get married. Okay? You owe that to them. You owe it to yourself. But physicality, being in shape, is part of what that 120-pound Marine has in his bag. You can't outgas him. He'll never run out of steam. Okay? Because he is in good shape. Well, again, being strong is a great feeling, let me tell you. All right? And that confidence level has a lot to do with how you are able to react to a situation. If I think I can do this, then I can do it. All right? Being strong, working out, know that I have more gas than the bad guy, I'm going to win. Strength and power, physical fitness, explosive quickness. If you're doing a training program, you've got to lift weight. You've got to work on the heavy bags. You've got to be able to get on those bikes and run, whatever it is. Some guys have knees that are messed up. I'm one of them. But the point is you've got to have stamina, you've got to have strength, and you've got to have explosive quickness. Because by God, when you're fighting to the death with somebody, you want to be able to, every time you hit them, you want them to feel like a hand grenade just went off the side of their face. Counter-terrorist training. Again, you are not responding to the incident. You are the incident. That's the way it's going to go down. Okay? There are split seconds involved in you making a decision to act, between whether that guy can carry out his deed or not. Decision making and action. If you are not quick, you're dead. That's true for every counter-terrorist operator in the game. When I say the decision-making process, they decide quick. Okay? Shoot, no shoot, whatever it happens to be. Quick thinking, quick reacting, quick acting. And you can train yourself to be quicker on your feet in your head. Okay? The difference between the good and the best is the speed of decision making. When you're reacting to a critical incident, you have one moment, and that moment alone you've got to determine your fate. There is no going back and no changing your mind. Once that incident has started, you have to go all the way to the end. For every force working against the operator, he must react with twice the force to secure domination. You ever heard the term force of violence? Okay? Believe me, when those guys opened the door on bin Laden's compound, there was force of violence in action. It was like lightning and thunder had just come inside your house. Think about that. Think about the noise. Think about the violence of action. Think about the screaming and hollering. And the fact that these guys dressed in black are like a fucking demon from your worst nightmare. Okay? It is domination by aggression and violence. Okay? We're dealing with bad guys. I'm not talking about rolling up on a car and having a guy get out of his car who's drunk. That's not the place for it. I'm talking only about bad guys. Real, actual bad guys who are going to kill a lot of people. And they'll do it without even blinking an eye. You have to understand that. Speed and accuracy. The reaction is deemed proper if it is fast, accurate, and asserted with a proper amount of aggression. Okay? So when you do your training, you need to be aggressive. Okay? Think about those Marines. They're taught to be the meanest effer on the planet. That's drilled into them. I'm bad to the bone.